Hi, I recently discovered a problem with my coolant pump, and it was leaking underneath actually. If I can get under. So here is a water pump, and if you just feel next to this, where this bolt goes on the side, it's on the inner side, so you know this has two parts of aluminium. So where my finger is just there, see that hole? Right, so my coolant was dripping from this Kawasaki Ninja recently, and I've just discovered out why. So let me open up the pump and show you what the problem was. Okay, so I've just jumped slightly. I've drained out all of the coolant. This water pump has 3 bolts. There you've got 2 long and short one at the top. Drop down all the coolant. Then inside you have the impeller. I'll get that out of the way. So we're looking at this, okay, this rotor. You've got a 10mm bolt that holds it on. So I've just cracked that. 10mm head, chuck it down there. Now that's the impeller off. So inside here you see you have a gasket seal, and I've just got to go to my Haynes manual and double check what other bits are on there. Give me 1 second. Okay, so this is the new kit. Obviously that's the outer gasket. This is one of the parts. I found that's the impeller that's come off. That part's on the back, so that needs to be pulled out and replaced. And then these other two, so far after the impeller came off, this part came off. This is spring loaded. This part has the spring loaded system in, but if you can see that metal backing, that's still in the bike, and you can see that kind of, it's like an olive kind of shape, you understand? So I need to get some pliers and pull that off the bike. I'm guessing that is behind that part in the bike. So let's dive in and show you what's in there. I need to get some adequate pliers of some sort to pull this out. So here we go. Yeah, you can see, if I get my pointer, where's my pointer? Can't find it. You just have to bear with me. So you can see an inner circle there. That's kind of part of the washer system that needs to be pulled out. So you get some pliers, and that's where the problem is causing, because coolant's getting beyond this gasket seal and then dripping down underneath the housing. And I believe behind there, you see, we have oil. So do I drop the oil first? That's a good idea. Let's drop some oil out. So after doing the research with the book, and which you should always do if you have it to hand, they are the business, never go wrong with them. So this water pump, it needs to come out, and it says you need to put one of your bolts back in the middle where the impeller comes on and push pressure on that to keep the oil pump housing in position. And then basically this water pump housing here, I've given it a tap with a rubber mallet. It's starting to loosen off. It's just a case of a bit more persuasion to get the bugger off, because it's really tight up against the engine on this side, so you can't really get your fingers around it. But it's wobbling, so I'm just going to play around with it. But that's the basis. That comes off, then we can get to all of the new seals and stuff once the pump is off the bike. Oh, and the other thing, let me add, yes, I've dropped the oil. Because somewhere you got contamination because of this failure with the gasket or the seal in the water pump. The coolant on the outside is really oily, so drop your oil, drop your coolant, refresh it all. It's important. Might need to do it anyway. So there we go. Now here we are. It wiggled off. All I did is on the back of it, I got these little pick tools. Worked really well because I could fill the gap, and I just run the pick just inside the seal on the back, and it broke it and it came off. Be careful though, because the shaft for the oil pump is on the back, and that come off, so that had to be pushed back into the oil pump. So this is the back, and obviously this hole here sits at the bottom of this water pump housing body. So this seal, which we're going to replace, there's the new one. Obviously that would failed and coolant had got behind into that chamber, and that leak in that hole there is a telltale sign. It's designed for it. Also, we were getting oil through into the coolant and it was mixing, so it's going to be a bit terminal if that had been continued to ride like that. So I'm glad we've got to the end of it. I've got all the parts here to go into the oil seal. It looks like it's a bit of a git to pick that out. But what I don't have, the book says that this O-ring must be replaced, and it's not available in that kit, so I'm going to have to see how I can source one of those and get it fitted. Right, so a little update on this water pump. I'm not giving up today anyway. I've got oily hands, but this is the old bit that was inside. It was the right git. It's kind of like punching out old bearings of a wheel, because you do have the option to try and punch it out, but it's a tight git anyway. In here is the old rubber seal, so when that's out, it goes back in this order. So that's your new rubber oil gasket seal. That goes in first. It goes in that way, then that goes in. You can see that blue line, whether that's some sort of adhesive, but to get this out I had to use a heat gun, and it's just kind of loosened up and made it easier. So now I'm just going to try and clean it all up, all this crap, get it really cleaned up and smooth and get the new bits in. I just need this O-ring on the back. So I don't know, I have to go down the O-ring shop. There we are, and just like that, 24 hours later, Jeff Bezos himself has delivered me brand new O-ring to go in there. So let's open it up and have a look. There's a pack of 10 there. This cost me off Amazon £5.40, and you get a pack of 10, so hopefully it's a good size. I thought there was 2 in the packets. That's good value, Jeff. Thank you very much, Jeff. Yeah, nice and thick. Where's the old one? So here's the old oil O-ring, and here's the nice new one. It's got a lovely lovely thickness to it. You can tell it's been compressed in there for many years, so that's going to give me a good lease of life. So yeah, I measured up that O-ring yesterday and I had it within 24 hours delivery, so bargain. That's the impeller. That has a new... Right, let's crack this open and show which order they go back in. First, let's start with the impeller. So this one, this rubber seal, the white back, that goes in that way. It's going to be pressed in. That's nice and easy. Then this one, I believe it's going to be harder, but let me just have a look. So this, it's got the flat side that it goes in that way, flat side push down, and then we push in this one on top. It's got that, I don't know what that blue stuff is, but I had to heat up the old one to get it out. So we're going to be very carefully push these back in and get them put on the bike. So there we are, I used the vice just to push it in because that is a tight fit. So, well, that was the hardest part, I think. So that's on. Let's get to the O-ring now on the back. So as we put this back on the bike, we're going to have a new O-ring. I'm going to give this a lick of oil as helps it seal, because I do believe it's stopping the oil from getting into the coolant side of the pump, and that does the opposite, so you kind of got a chamber in the middle where they kind of meet. So let's give this a bit of oil. So all we've done now is just simply slotted that back over. I'm just going to get the impaler, the pump impeller, impaler, however you want to say it, and then simply bolt it back on if I can find the bolts I took off yesterday. And then again, the same with the outside. We've given this just a little bit of oil on the brand new O-ring. Haynes manual does say to replace everything. One use only, so here we go. And there we are, just like that. That's the pump housing all put together. All the pumps back on in their rightful places, all tightened up. So just a case of getting some coolant in there and testing it.